Hello, this is David William Weisner, and this is David Weisner Speaks, Episode 7. Tonight, we're going to talk about drugs and alcohol. Alcohol being probably one of the worst drugs there is. The fact that it's legal desensitizes people to the reality of how awful alcohol really is. It is a drug, like any other drug: cocaine, heroin, LSD, mescaline, ecstasy, anything like that. Drugs and alcohol have had a really miserable effect on my life. I could even say they ruined my life, and they did. I didn't start using alcohol. I think I tried beer like at 13 with my best friend at the time. And I really didn't like it, but I got a taste for it. And by the time I was a teenager, I was drinking alcohol on the weekends, but binging on it. Meaning I would drink just so much alcohol, so much beer. I could drink a case of it. And I would go into blackouts, and I would drive completely drunk. And really, it's just a miracle that I never killed anybody or myself. I'm here to tell you this, not as some bombastic preacher screaming at you about morality, but just to kind of tell you how it's affected my life and to make you understand these things are not good for anybody, not in any, not in any way. People drink. People drink to celebrate. I mean, all over the world, even a glass of champagne. In religious ceremonies, people have wine. Even that much, it influences your brain. It takes away inhibitions. I live in a college town in Newport, New York. And, when you go to college, people want to they want to get free, they want to get drunk, they want to smoke pot and do other things. But it's a really terrible thing. When I went to college for the first time at State University of New York at Buffalo, I used to get very drunk and stoned, mostly drunk and stoned, which people think is just a normal kind of college experience, and I guess it is for many, many young people. There was a party there, a whole party, meaning all the rooms had different alcohol concoctions, and I went from room to room, and I got just so shit-faced drunk, you wouldn't believe it. And then, I might have covered this before in an early episode, but it's very important. I got so drunk, a resident advisor got into my face about drinking alcohol in the halls and with an open bottle or something. Why he picked me, I don't know. Maybe because I was so drunk and just staggering. Then I just got really mad, as I was tended to do when I was completely drunk, and I just attacked him in every way. I was so drunk, I don't know what I did. I was just scratching and biting and kicking and punching and pulling his hair. Just went completely crazy. And it took all these cops to hold me down and take me to jail. All right, it was my first time going to jail. And because it was a first offense, and because the judge was leaning on me because I went to the school, I only ended up paying a $500 fine. But this kid was hurt. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. They didn't tell me. But I must have hurt this kid pretty bad. And he didn't deserve that. He was just a kid going to school, being an RA, good grades, as a resident advisor, trying to help the other kids. Look what alcohol did to him through me. It was a very terrible thing to do. And as I said in previous episodes, I hope this person forgives me. It's hard to even forgive myself that I'd be so stupid to hurt a nice young man like that. There are other instances. When I was in high school, I was driving my car. I had a souped up 69 Cutlass, an Oldsmobile. I drove it all the time. I'm not even sure if I must have been stoned at the time. I have so many unclear memories because there's such a haze of drugs. This guy jumped in front of my car, and I said, "Oh, you're gonna jump in my car?" And I drove as fast as I could. I floored it, and then he finally went flying off, and I stepped on the brake and almost killed him. And what if I had? I'd be in jail for vehicular homicide. Who knows how many years? Drugs and alcohol are so bad. You have no idea. No idea. Even a little bit. People go to college today and they go to frat parties and different things, and they use alcohol and drugs a lot of times to free them of their inhibitions. And I used it that way too in some ways because I was very shy when I was in high school, and I would do alcohol to just to lose my inhibitions, especially around women. I know of instances where people, abuse women, where they would get them drunk, just have sex with them and use them for their bodies. And it just happens. Some people call it date rape. It's just rape. If you get somebody drunk, just take advantage of them. It's just rape, but it happens all the time, especially on college campuses where drug and alcohol use is so rampant. Let me try to think about some other stories from my life where these drugs really screwed me up. When I was 19, I did acid for the first time. I did LSD. I had the wrong group of friends. They were all stoners. They were all drunks. Eventually, we all got into coke. And so I did this LSD. And by the end of the summer, it's the summer of '89, by the end of the summer, I was tripping out so much that I destroyed my brain, meaning I became bipolar. And that destroyed my life, meaning since then, I've had to be on medication just to remain sane. And there's a lot of side effects from medication, awful ones. There is made you gain a lot of weight. I gained 70 pounds at one point. There's different things you gotta fight with, like stomach cramps, like anorgasmia, like hard things to deal with, besides life itself. But being bipolar, because of acid, and you could check the literature, LSD absolutely could bring out bipolar disorder in anyone, especially, it happened to me. And so many bad things happen because of this, because of my bipolar. I went on manic rampages. I went to Florida. I went to California. I was homeless. I was in jail. Experienced horrible things. when I was stable on medications, I lived a good life. I went to college. I got my degree in sociology. I had students. I'm a guitar and piano teacher. But I've been on disability my whole life. You can't make a living being a guitar and piano teacher unless you're a professor. I had my own job. I didn't have many students, just enough to make some extra cash. And I lived at home my whole life until recently, until about 10 years ago. And then I lived home again with my mom for a few years because of COVID. And that's another story. But drugs and alcohol are so bad, it really, literally destroyed my whole life. Now I'm on good medications, probably the best I've ever been on. And more than anything, I just want people to use my life as a warning to you. I've written a book called Bipolar Disorder Through My Eyes, a Memoir of Hope. It's on Amazon.com. It's on BarnesandNoble.com. If you order it, please see my life as a warning. Don't let this happen to you. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Any kind of drugs. These things are so bad for you. I'm 54 years old. I'm living in a very small, it's fine for me. I'm so grateful that I have anything. But probably any of you who saw it who are middle class would think it's a piece of shit where I live. But I really don't care. It's like a castle to me because I'm so happy just to have a roof over my head. I live on disability. I'm trying to make money with the book I published. Please subscribe to this channel, like it, or comment. That's another way I'm trying to pull myself out of the basement and make money and also teach. And that's the first and foremost reason for this channel, is to teach. But it is also ultimately to try and make money. On YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers in order to get monetized. I have very few, just some friends and family now, but it's just the beginning. And, just remember how bad these things are for you. All right. Thank you very much. Pray. Just pray every day to God to help you with discernment, to give you the strength. I haven't done these drugs pretty much in decades. I gave them up. When I was manic, I had a few drinks or puff here and there, but I really haven't been a drug addict since my 20s. I had other problems to deal with, and I have. All right, thank you very much. God bless you. Good night.